What's up guys, Roddy here, and today we're going to do just a real quick video comparison between two of the best Android phones. I have the brand new Pixel 9 Pro XL, and then I also have an S24 Ultra. And just for comparison's sake, we're going to throw those two. I'm going to kind of just walk around the office here, do a front-facing camera, do the rear main camera, maybe do a little bit of zoom and stuff. And then I'm also going to throw in the iPhone 15 Pro Max just to show you guys kind of where video is at here in 2024. No, I don't have a new iPhone 16 or anything like that. Probably not going to get it because I don't think that there's that much of a difference between the cameras. So we'll see what the best of Android has to offer, how far it's come, how close this race is now here in 2024, and what really sets these cameras apart. So without further ado, let's go. All right, so quick little video test. This is the 42 megapixel front camera that I'm checking out on the brand new Pixel 9 Pro XL. You can do some really cool things with this. You can do this kind of illuminated screen, which gives you a little bit better selfie image in lower light. This is pretty low light. I'll kind of scan around that lamp there, that window, that lamp, and two more windows are all the lights that I have in here. There's no lights on up there. Now on this preview, I can see a little bit of grain in the image, kind of typical Pixel stuff that you see, but we'll see how it processes a little later. Of course, you can go in a little closer. And obviously, as I move closer to this window, we get less grain, but it's still, you can kind of see kind of right in these corners and everything. On the preview, it looks grainy. So let's process this, see what we get. All right, so similar little test here, comparing the Pixel to the S24 Ultra. This is kind of the same lighting situation, same scenario, front-facing camera on the Ultra. You can see there's no lights on. I've got an open window back there. I do have a lamp there. And then we've got those two windows and a lamp there as well. To me, this does look a little bit better. Seems like there's less grain in this. It's blowing those highlights out pretty heavily, and you can see that on those lights. I feel like I'm a lot softer, so you're not getting as good of a as sharp of an image, but less noise. So you just kind of have to figure out which one to me is the better one here. We're going to flip this around and go through the office. And we are with the iPhone. I would say, as good as Samsung and Google have gotten, they have a very hard time beating these cameras. Obviously, with this selfie camera on the 15 Pro Max, you're still getting a lot of that. You can see the lens bubbles. Those are just unfortunate. That's just an iPhone thing. And then I'm seeing a little bit of grain. You can definitely tell that there's not a lot of light here. It's softening me up. It's kind of jittery. Yeah, it's one of those things where the iPhone, when you start getting in good lighting like this, you can see how well that image is and how much better it is. But overall, from stabilization to just the analysis of your face, it is a lot warmer, pretty easy to edit out, but you can just see as I moved over here close to the door, how important that light is to this device. So we're gonna flip it around, use the other side, kind of see what that looks like. All right, so just testing out this video quality for the Pixel here, seeing how it does. Again, this is a pretty low light situation. I've got a lamp, I've got a window, I've got two windows over there and a lamp there. No overhead lighting. It is kind of a gloomy day. I'm just going to kind of walk around the office and show you a little bit how this does, how it transitions back and forth between things. You can see it's pretty low light. We'll just kind of walk through here. No lights on in that room. I am shooting this 4K 60 to try and give it as good a quality, good a shot at good quality as I can. We'll play with some lenses here. Can zoom in there, zoom in there. Terrible. You definitely can see it's very distinct with how these lenses zoom in. That's just clicking the buttons that are suggested here. We'll kind of pinch to zoom. Yeah, you can still kind of see when it switches between those lenses, but definitely better. Definitely better. Not terrible. I think you could. Almost dropped the phone. I think you could live with it there. Yeah, you can kind of see that jump right there. Yeah. But overall, this is, I don't do a lot of zoom on my phone in the middle of videos. I've always said that in the past. I don't do that. I know a lot of people do, but it's just not a good look. That's pretty cool how you can get those different focal points. It's pretty nice. Yeah, we'll see how this does. I'm going to put the video boost on and everything. I'm going to give it its full potential here of the Pixel. All right, so main lens shooting 4K 60, UHD 60 on the S24 Ultra, comparing it to the Pixel. Kind of similar situation. Kind of see how this does when we kind of go through all this kind of stuff. Samsung has always been known to kind of blow those highlights out, but they've done a lot better. You can see their processing is a lot better. Let's walk through this little dark hallway here. That's a completely blacked out room. And we'll go in here like I did earlier with the Pixel. Just kind of looking around at the office. This room we kind of did some zoom tests to see how that switching between the lenses went. Pixel lets you go up to 5, so you kind of see how this transitions. Not bad at all. And then we'll pinch to zoom on this one, but just showing you the difference there. Finger got in the way. And then if we just zoom in, I think Samsung's getting it. They're getting better. They still got those jumps. Just no one's doing what iPhone is doing, obviously. I just can't figure that software out. And we had those nice transitions of the focal lens in the Pixel. This is not doing that. This is definitely focusing on what's closest to it. Now see, I can touch to focus here. I can touch to focus, but it's not automatically changing. Even if I start moving closer to that road, I have to touch like that for it to choose. So very interesting. All right, main camera, 4K 60, just like on the other two devices. Let's go here. And is that out of focus? iPhone has such a weird focal length on things. it's trying to do those focal lengths better than the other two. Obviously, it's kind of jumping back and forth pretty well. We'll go down this little dark area here, this little small hallway. Completely no light. Front room has a little more light. And over into this little office. Get a little bit of a jump there between that ultra wide. Yeah. But we'll do a little pinch to zoom here. And we're getting a little jump on the iPhone there. Oh. So that's me going in 15x, which iPhone's obviously not capable to do. But I'm really surprised that the iPhone is giving us those little jitters in between lenses. You typically don't get that from an iPhone, but we're getting it today. Maybe it's the harshness of the lighting conditions. I'm just really shocked that it did that. This kind of where you can see some prowess of the iPhone. Just how good that looks. Again, though, not giving us what the Pixel gave us as far as like being able to detect those objects. And then there, I just touched to focus. Now it's not wanting to change. It's getting it. Yeah, it's not as good as the Pixel. Or I would say as good as the Samsung when it comes to touch to focus. So being able to figure out like what I'm trying to focus on. I'd say the transition might be a little bit better. We'll have to just see in post. All right, so don't forget real quick to make sure you subscribe. Didn't hit that in the beginning, just kind of ran into the video. But also drop down in the comments below and let me know what you think about these videos. I definitely still think that iPhone is kind of the go-to phone when it comes to video. Personally, I think that the front-facing camera struggled the least is what I'm going to say. I'm not going to say it was the best or the worst. They all three struggled just because the lighting is just not ideal here. The sun has come out, so that's really nice now. But in low light situations, gloomy, dark rooms inside, things like that, the other two, while they did okay, all three of them had grain. All three of them had issues where they were trying to do multiple things. I will say this, for both of the Android phones, I noticed that they seem to be more grainy than the iPhone, but they didn't have that shaky, non-stabilized look as bad. Probably ultimately, though, my preference would be probably the Samsung. I felt like it was the overall best for the rear camera and the front facing, just for the simple fact that while yeah, it was a little grainy on the front facing camera, I would rather live with a little bit of grain and not be quite as soft as the iPhone was, or have those shakes and jitters, also less lens flare than the little, what I call the little bubbles, less of that. But overall, I still think that iPhone is probably the quality that's the most pleasing for everyone. People are going to say, oh, I don't like the grain or the stabilization or whatever, transition between lenses, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff we always hear. I just felt like my preference, what I prefer is colors, tones, the sharpness, and just the overall, I just felt like Samsung just gave me an overall better microphone quality, video quality, the whole 9 yards. Which is saying a lot since typically the iPhone has always been the king. It is real easy though to open this up and shoot selfies with it, walk around and vlog with it. But I would say, if you've got good lighting, the Samsung's going to do really, really well. Still think Pixel struggles really bad with being able to process out the grain, even on the rear cameras. It's gotten a lot better over time. We saw that the 8 Pro was really good last year. I don't think this is any better than that when it comes to video. So for me, like, Samsung is still giving us one of the best camera systems out there. It's easy to modify this. It's easy to work with this. It's easy to shoot with this. I just wish that they'd give us a little bit stronger processing power on that front-facing camera. Maybe even give us a bigger sensor to help with that low light and that grain a little bit. But overall, I just really am impressed with how far Google's come, how far Samsung's come, how close this is. I didn't think that any of these was better or worse than the other. I felt like they were all pretty similar. I was shocked that the iPhone had some stutters when switching between lenses. That's not something you normally see in an iPhone, and we're seeing that right now. I did like on the Pixel how on the rear main camera it was changing automatically between like the bars in the window and then the road. I didn't have to touch to focus on that. That was really impressive that it's got that capability. But overall, all 3 phones did great. I don't think that there's a bad phone now out there that you can get when it comes to video. It just really boils down to preference. Do you mind the graininess of the front-facing camera, or do you mind no grain? Do you like the softer image versus the grain? Do you want somewhere in between and kind of get a little bit of best of both worlds with the Samsung? For me, that's what I would prefer, is the Samsung just kind of give me the best of both worlds on that front-facing camera. On the rear-facing camera, I felt like they were all pretty much similar. I did feel the Samsung was a little bit stronger when it came to zoom capabilities and things like that. So again, overall, just indoor low light video capability, my pick is the Samsung, and I'm going to give it the winner today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks guys again for just a fun little video just to throw out some more content for you, and we will see you next time.